Nigerian Senate has appealed to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to approve 200 million naira as compensation for the family of 2-year-old Ivan Omoria, who was killed by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Ndlea, during a raid in Asaba Delta State. The Upper Legislative Chamber also directed the agency to cover all medical expenses for Ivan's younger brother, 1-year-old Eromon Seli, who suffered a serious eye injury in the same incident. They condemned the actions of the Ndlea officers, describing their conduct as reckless and unprofessional. Speaking during Thursday's plenary, the chairman of the Senate Committee on Ethics, Ndlea, stressed the need for justice and proper support for the grieving family.
This case is very pathetic, Mr. President, because we have a 2-year-old that was inadvertently shot and killed by Ndlea while they were carrying out some operations, and have the second child bullet into his eyes that has rendered that child almost blind. The Ndlea, unfortunately, were not cooperating. They told us that they didn't have the finances, and so they were not offering anything, even to the family, for the 2-year-old child that was killed and buried, and for the child that is going blind. We had more than 3 sittings on this, and it became clear to us that Ndlea wasn't going to budge. They weren't going to help us to help this family. Therefore,
the incident sparked outrage in the chamber, with senators raising concerns over the growing misuse of force by security agents across the country.
For the killing of someone, officers need to know that the uniform is not a license to kill and go home and sleep with your own children. May it not happen to any of us. And money does not compensate for a loss of a child who is completely innocent. So my second in drafting the prayers is that the Senate do recommend to the Attorney General of the Federation that they should further investigate this case with a view to prosecuting the officer or officers involved in this avoidable murder of a Nigerian child.
So we can't accept this in Nigeria, where we give you uniform, we pay you, and then you go and kill Nigerians that you are supposed to protect. So I subscribe that this family be paid this amount of compensation so that they can take care of the treatment of the second person who is shot in the eye, and also as a reparation for the one that was killed for not just reason.
In his ruling, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, stated, citing the Senate standing rules, that the Senate cannot entertain any petition seeking grants or public funds unless it is accompanied by the President's approval.
So 200 million is not too much, but there's a problem with our rules. So if you look at Rule 40, sub 6, I can read it for you. The Senate will not receive any petition which asks for a grant of public funds. The Senate will not receive any petition which asks for a grant of public funds unless the recommendation of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has been signified thereto. This section, in view of Section 46, that there is no presidential assent, so you may wish to urge the Senate to work with legislative compliance to ensure that Mr. President assists to a monetary compensation of 200 million plus the cost of the surgeries needed by the second child whose eye was damaged by bullets and who requires multiple surgeries. So that it's not the same money that they will use for surgeries.